Well, Professor André Duvenhage from the University of Northwest, and is also a political analyst, joins us now for some analysis. A very good evening to you, Prof. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Prime News on 3.
Good evening, Siviwe.
Well, what should we read into this, Professor? The fact that, Natasha Mazzoni is saying that she's not actually demoted, but she's been deployed to another portfolio within the party in Parliament. Should we look at this as a genuine internal matter that led to her removal, or just another black leader who's made to pick up the pieces of compassion thrown from the table of her supposed masters?
Well, Siviwe, my take on the Democratic Alliance is that since the time of Mmusi Maimane, the DA did a turnaround strategy back to their original values. And I think John Steenhuisen at the moment is repositioning individuals. We have seen people leaving the political scene. The latest one was Patricia Kopane from the Free State, also a relative senior member, at one point leader in the Free State. But my take on it is that the Democratic Alliance, if we look at surveys, are performing well. One survey is indicating that where the ANC is on 38%, the DA is on 27%, EFF 10%. So relatively speaking, the DA is doing well. When it comes to Natasha Mazzoni, she is repositioned to the Joint Standing Committee of Intelligence, as well as the security advisor of the leader of the opposition. Now, we can debate if this is a better or a worse position. Fact of the matter is, she is still a very important role player, and there is new opportunities for a person like Siviwe Gwarube, who's now the new chief whip. So I'm seeing this as a reorganization. I'm seeing that the Democratic Alliance is gaining a lot of momentum that they lost during the ANC light phase, if I can call it that way, when specifically Mmusi Maimane was in charge of the Democratic Alliance.
You may say that the Democratic is actually doing well, but I suppose we cannot turn our backs on the raging debate about the fact that the Democratic Alliance has been finding it incredibly difficult to fend off allegations and accusations of racism within the party. We have seen the exodus of black leaders like Mmusi Maimane, Herman Mashaba, Lindiwe Mazibuko, and more recently Makashule Ghana. So what do you think the Democratic Alliance's strategy is in terms of retaining black leaders, and what is their defense against such allegations of making the black leaders as puppets of white masters? Well,
let's start by analyzing the multiraciality of political parties on this political spectrum, and you will find that the Democratic Alliance was the most representative party of all parties in terms of race, because it is so difficult to mobilize on basis that is not race. But I think the problem in the Democratic Alliance was fundamental ideological differences. The Democratic Alliance is for non-racialism, that's my understanding of them, but when it comes to positioning individuals, some of them weren't that successful. And my take on a person like Patricia Kopane was that she was relatively unsuccessful. We have seen the performance of the DA during the 2019 elections. Mmusi Maimane promised huge black support for the DA. It didn't happen. In fact, they have lost about 250,000 votes from the minority groups. And I think at the moment, the DA is repositioning themselves on a non-racial basis, but trying to represent the minority groups as well as the moderate black people. I do not know a lot about the racism thing. I think it's more about ideology than racism at the moment.
Well, you remember that a very senior leader within the Democratic Alliance, Tony Leon, saying that black leaders are actually a failed experiment within the party.
Well, unfortunately, if you look at statistics and you look at the time when the party underperformed most, then it was during the time of Mr. Mmusi Maimane. And we have even seen the comeback after Mmusi Maimane last year during the 2021 election. I won't generalize it on a general level, but I will like to argue that the Mmusi Maimane experiment was not a successful one.
It's quite interesting that a person can be branded as an experiment, especially on the basis of the skin or the color of their skin. Professor, thank you so much for joining us this hour. We do appreciate your time and your analysis.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Well, that was political analyst Professor André Duvenhage.